So you're probably all wondering, what on earth is this? Well, for something a little bit different, I'll show you some of my stranger and more interesting train collections, as well as having a look at the Thomas plate, as requested. So, what we're going to be looking at today is some different aspects of little train things I've picked up, and wondering if anyone else has any information on them. So first, let's start with these larger track stars trains, sorry. I've got a bit of a cold at the moment. And let's find out where they came from. Because there's a few questions I'd like to ask about these very interesting toys. Okay, so I'll first have a look at these little locomotives. And as you can see, over the years I've collected 2 of these locomotives. What's interesting about them is that if you have a look at this, we've got a die-cast metal design, very light. We've got really nice detailing on these locomotives. This reminds me of a German or Prussian T3 locomotive. And as you can see, what's interesting is that we've got these relief wheels here, but what actually powers them are these pullback motors with these little silver wheels on the front. So I can just fix up this tyre. We can see that if we go like this, our little train rolls away. The second train that I have is this bigger, much more grand express locomotive. Once again, we can see that we've got the same kind of design. And if we have a look at the bottom, wrong way around, we can see that these are 2000 made by Bomb, I think that says. No, Soma, sorry, I can't read. Once again, this one should pull back. What was interesting about this toy train was that when I bought it, the wheels were already disconnected. As you can see, they've disconnected from the winding mechanism so that they roll around, and when the train's actually going along, don't touch the ground. Now, each of these trains came in one of these boxes. As you can see, we sort of open it up, train goes inside, close up so you can take and play with it. As you can see, they're labelled under this license Track Stars. And I think this was a car series, but I can't quite be sure. So if anyone has any more of these trains, or the cars, or whatever else this company made, please let me know. Because I haven't been able to find any information about them on the internet. As you can see, the big express train is on the front. What was interesting about these trains, however, was the fact that this engine came by itself in a box. This engine came by itself in a box. However, this is a tender engine. So where's its tender? And the answer is in this set. So as you can see, this is a set that I got when I got this set, which was probably 2 or 3 years after I got this original train. As you can see, it comes with a tender, which by its colouring looks like it belongs with this engine. However, it still looks just a touch out of place, too much like a carriage as opposed to a tender. Then we've got this coach. Then we've got a gas wagon. As you can see, there you go. Oh, the coupling's broken on this one. And I've got a baggage guard's van, whatever you want to call it. And once again, if you have a look at the date on these ones, these are also dated 2000. And these have got train wheels on them, which makes me wonder if there was ever a track system for these. But I can't say I actually know. So please, if anyone's got information on these interesting little trains. These next 2 objects are something a bit different again. This time, as you can see, I've got a keyring of an American Jupiter type locomotive. Once again, it's got very nice detailing. We've got no production marks on it anywhere. I think this is about $5 if I can remember. Just something a bit interesting. As you can see, it's part of my collection. It doesn't stand up very well because it's very tall and narrow. Now there's this train, which I believe is some kind of tank engine. As you can see, it's sort of got a 2-6-2 configuration. And I think it's meant to be a paperweight, because it's reasonably heavy for its size. What's interesting is that this light is bent back and this funnel is bent back, and they were like this when I bought it from the second-hand shop. However, they don't look like the kind of bends that you could just do by hand, because this is really sort of tough. I'd get the feeling that this material would break before you could actually bend it. So I'm wondering if maybe there was just a cheapo kind of thing made, or whether it was, as you can see, the back's a bit poorly detailed, or whether it was just, cheapo design from the start. Because it looks like there should be a piston connection on here to the other driving axle, but there isn't. So I'm not really sure. That's those two. And then we've got this little train here, which I believe came from a garden in Canberra or something, which is the capital city of Australia, by the way. And you can see that interesting design about this train is it's got cute little colours, a little bit of roadbed, and for some reason 2 sets of coupled axles. So the designers obviously weren't train buffs when they made this. It's an interesting little piece, very light. The next one is a little string train set. I don't really know what this is. We've got a little blocky wooden engine. As you can see, it's made of these 2 roller pieces, this body bit, a funnel, a big smoke catching kind of thing in a cab, and then joined with rope are these 2 little coal wagons. Which is an interesting little toy to give a small child, because as you can see, because it's lack of design and the fact that all the carriages are attached, it must be designed for a small child. But I mean, if you compare it to the length of my finger, it's really not very big. So a child will still swallow something like this. So it seems strange as a child's toy if children would have danger of choking on it. So just something interesting there. And last, but by very least, not least, we have this interesting set that I actually purchased last year in Germany. Now, as you can see, it's sort of like a smaller version of this train, except this one came with a little station building, as you can see, with the 3 pieces there. And this one's coloured decals, so we've got, like, the green little engine, here's green tender, coach A and coach B. Now, I think preferably this is much, as you can see, smaller scale and more playable set. And it actually came in this matchbox, which I thought was really cute. And that's the reason it caught my eye, because it was just so small it could fit inside this matchbox. And so there you go, there's a quick little look at some of my Thomas collections. Rather, not Thomas collections, train collections. And please tell me if you've ever seen these before, and which one is your favourite? Out of the 2 track-style trains at the back, and these other ones, which one has the most detailing, which one's the most fun? And, on something completely random, do you think trains should be called he or she? I mean, we're often referred to engines as she, like this old beauty engine, for cars, for trains, for planes. But then, when you watch a children's TV show, most of the characters are male. That's something else to wonder. I think they should be referred to as he, personally, but anyway, that's something different. Now to the second part of the review, which is going to be of the Thomas plate, which I showed in one of my earlier videos. And this is the Happy Birthday Thomas plate. Now, I really like this plate. It's sort of got the old style of drawing, which you see on a lot of the older 2000 circa puzzles and merchandise of Thomas. And I really like the facial designs of the engines. I think it really reflects the kind of characters they are. And this was given to me, I think, might have been my brother, but I can't actually remember, clearly on my birthday. And at the time I was like, well, this is completely useless. I can't play with the plate. And I think now it's a really nice display, and I've never actually ate off it because it was too special. I just displayed it. Came with this nice little stand there, so you can, probably wasn't designed to be used. And see if we actually look at the printing, if it's going to come into focus. There you go. Oh, 1992. So it's been produced for quite a while before I actually bought it by Wedgwood, made in England. And there you go, a bit of departure from our trend. Maybe this was before the time of everything being made in China. So that's interesting. I wasn't born in 1992, if you haven't already guessed. So what's interesting is that this was produced many years before it was actually given to me by whoever bought it. So this was like quite a nice gift. Probably not the kind of gift you would give, your average Thomas lover, 5-year-old, simply because kids can't play with plates, but a really nice kind of plate. And one that you probably wouldn't want to use in fear of chipping it, and rather just as a display. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this strange all over the place review, and I'll try and get those Lego reviews, Marker reviews, and wooden and big loader reviews done. And there's also a James Bluebird set on the way, which I'll soon do a review and quick story about. So there's plenty of things to still look forward to. But anyway, thanks for watching. That's all we've got time for from TrainzXtreme.